Did you know that whale breast milk is incredibly rich and thick, with a consistency similar to toothpaste? That is absolutely disgusting. But it has high fat content, so about 40 to 50% fat. Wow, that's less than the seal. Which ensures that the whale calves gain the necessary blubber to survive in the cold ocean waters. That makes sense. Whale calves can consume up to 150 liters or 40 gallons of milk per day. That helps them grow rapidly, sometimes gaining as much as 9 kilograms a day. Holy shit. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Strength Classroom. Today I'm showing you my dynamic effort upper body workout. Now, I know what I'm doing wrong here. I gotta pre-prime myself. I'm pulling too early, and if you Landmine University guys can help me out with this, I think I'm pulling too early, and I'm not getting upright and enough. See right there, I'm pulling too low, and that's why my catch is kind of off. See, that's why you got to film yourself. You got to see what you're doing wrong. You got to analyze. You got to assess. So I'm not getting the triple extension. I'm not getting myself up first. I'm kind of relying all on the pull instead of that was a good rep. Instead of the pull just being part of the mess, let's say. That's pretty good. And of course, dropping down is always going to be the key. Just like in a regular snatch or a regular clean, the key is always going to be dropping down, or else it's going to end in a press out, where you slightly press out the weight, where you're not catching it fully locked out. It's probably going to happen here. No, that was actually really good. So I got better as it went on. That's why we warm up almost. So paused incline clusters, regular grip. And if you've been following along or haven't been following along with the workout vlogs, you'll notice that I am really hammering the incline, but I'm just slightly changing the variation every week. And I'm still using a 3-week wave. The weights are still gradually getting up each week, depending on the variation. If it's going to be a really hard variation, the weight might just be slightly below 225 or 225, probably won't be up there. So here's paused. It's 240 pounds on the bar. And it's 3, 2, and then 1. That's the cluster. Okay, so that's my 2 part of the cluster. And here's my final rep. Boom, baby. So 3 sets of 3, 2, 1. I like cluster sets more for the upper body than the lower body. There are definitely some movements for the lower body that I do like it for. Deadlifts are kind of not one of them. I'd rather just do straight sets for deadlifts. I've tried it with deadlifts when it's like these little clusters. Sometimes I've done like dynamic work for deadlifts. That works very, very well, but not the clusters. I don't know, there's something about it that I don't like. So 240 pounds the whole way through. Next week will be week 3, and we'll get up some decently heavy weights in that week 3. Paused incline is maybe the best exercise for your chest. Don't quote me on that, but overall across the board, just the fact that you're getting a nice stretch and you're not relying on any bounce is great. So chaos overhead press. This cycle, I'm really using exercises that I'm not able to use max weight, but I'm able to get a good stimulus, and it's going to be like a challenge. So last week you saw me do the 1-arm seated overhead press or dumbbell press. Now you're seeing me use high reps for the chaos bar. This is very lightweight. This is basically, it's not even my first work set. It's basically more like my last warm-up set, or this was actually my first set. So it's my first set, which is also my last warm-up set, but it's also my first set. So what do I call it? Who cares? So that's about 20 reps. And now here we have, it's about 100 pounds total, which is not a huge amount of weight, but it's hard to stabilize. And that's what this bar is about. So what I want to do, I pause at the bottom and I pause at the top. Why? Because, or I'm trying to pause as long as I can at the top. I'm trying to get the bar to oscillate on purpose because I'm trying to control it. And I'm going to make a video on this in the future. There are people that claim that the overhead press does not stimulate or work your medial delts, you look at my medial delts right here, you tell me they're not working. You tell me they're not working. That's a ridiculous statement to make. Barbell rows, up in the reps, keeping the weight the same. We got 225. It's kind of speedy right there. I'm not really using much body English. Like, sure, I'm not keeping my torso parallel to the floor, but it's just a little nudge. And I'm really violently rowing that into my stomach. You'll notice I talked about how dynamic day could be a good opportunity to not only making sure your upper body pressing muscles are moving fast, but also your lower body your upper body pulling muscles are getting used to moving fast, because some sports require you to have a lot of force with the pulling muscles. Grappling, wrestling, rowing for sure. Actually, rowing, you just need freak pulling muscles. And then I just decided, you know what, the main thing I'm going to do today, arms. Arms are the main thing I'm going to take care of. When it comes to single joint stuff, I already did the overhead press. Don't need to do anything for shoulders in that realm. But what we need here are some curls. So I don't know if you could see it, but I have fat grips on my Rhinoflex bar. So this is more of a grip exercise, and biceps are a bonus. So this is what, like I said, this is like 62 pounds, but the implement is very, very fat, and I'm doing higher reps. If I wanted to put more of a emphasis on my biceps, I just use a normal bar. Maybe the fat grips could slap on, but then I'd probably be using next to no weight. I'd probably be using a normal bar and putting on a couple of 10s, which is pretty much the exact same weight here. But I'm making sure I'm getting a good contraction in my biceps, but I'm making sure I'm also squeezing hard as shit with my hands to develop hand and forearm strength, which is key for almost every sport. But because I've been getting back into jiu-jitsu, that's really paying off as well. So I always make sure I'm doing at least 1 to 3 times per week an exercise where I'm really squeezing the shit out of the bar, and that's the limiting factor. Like right here, I'm squeezing the kettlebells, but that's not going to bring up my grip strength anyway. So just to finish off my triceps, because the inclines definitely hit them, the plyo push-ups hit them it woke them up, but just to finish them off from a hypertrophy standpoint, 30 to 40 reps, and I'm kind of bringing the kettlebells right next to my ears. It's almost like a JM press, but I'm letting the weight fall backwards, but as you can see, my forearm is still falling onto my biceps. So it's almost like a JM press variation. I learned these from John Meadows. You're supposed to let them fall far behind your head. It's actually a great exercise. If you have access to kettlebells, give them a shot. And then I just want to finish off, like I said, I'm trying to finish off almost every session with some upper back work. I'm using my reverse hypers to do some high rows. So as you can see, I'm rowing very high. It's almost like it's a trap / upper back variation. I'm not rowing low. You see my elbows are coming high and out, which typically hit the upper back more. But if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, do all the good stuff. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great day.